Would you dare step into a house where time stands still and nightmares come alive? 12-year-old Jessica returns to her grandmother's countryside home, once peaceful, now eerily different. Built on a forgotten battlefield, the house hides restless spirits and something sinister lurking behind the mirror. What begins as a quiet summer turns into a fight to survive the horrors of the past. This is not just a visit, it's the beginning of a nightmare. Hit like and subscribe to follow Jessica's chilling journey, before the next nightmare begins.
So you won't miss stories that will send shivers down your spine every night.
The first visit to Grandma's. Jessica is a 12-year-old girl living with her parents in a bustling city. Every summer, she eagerly prepares for a trip to visit her grandmother. The one person who always gives her a sense of peace and love. Her grandmother's house is nestled in a vast garden, surrounded by distant mountain ranges. This is the first time Jessica is visiting her after a long time, and she's excited to enjoy the peaceful atmosphere of the countryside, away from the noise of the city. Her grandmother is the one person who truly understands her, always the one she can share her thoughts and desires with. Though her grandmother's house seems peaceful, Jessica can't help but feel something strange when she arrives. Each time she visits, she feels a slight unease in the air, especially when night falls. For the first time, Jessica feels that something unusual is happening in her grandmother's house, but she still wants to explore everything. However, even though her grandmother insists that the house is a safe place, Jessica can't shake the strange feeling deep in her heart. Strange memories and nightmares. Though her grandmother's house offers Jessica warmth, it holds an eerie quietness she can't explain. Every morning, as the mist blankets the garden, Jessica feels like something invisible still lingers in the air. She can't shake the feeling that, despite the love and care in the house, it harbors painful memories from the past. Grandma often shares stories about the days of war, about souls that never found rest, and those who sacrificed themselves during bloody conflicts. Even though her grandmother tries to keep those memories locked away and only shares the positive, Jessica can't help but sense an eerie heaviness every night. Nightmares began as soon as she arrived. Every night, with the dim light of the oil lamp in the room, Jessica would wake up, drenched in cold sweat, her eyes wide open in panic. She'd see shadowy figures moving in the darkness, hear footsteps echoing in the empty hallways, and sometimes, images of souls that couldn't move on, strange faces with eyes closed, staring at her from the dark. Even though she tried not to let the nightmares scare her, Jessica felt the haunting presence growing stronger. The silent nights in the house weren't just the absence of sound, they were filled with memories that hadn't faded, with spirits that still lingered. Strange image in the mirror and the creepy laughter. One night, as Jessica sat before the large mirror in her grandmother's room, carefully combing her hair, she felt an eerie sensation wash over her. The faint light from the oil lamp illuminated her face, casting shadowy silhouettes around the room. But when she looked into the mirror, she noticed her reflection didn't match her movements. The reflection seemed to be delayed, creating a sense of fear. This feeling grew stronger as she realized that the reflection wasn't just hers, it was a terrifying entity. The eyes in the mirror became pitch black, staring at her with a challenging look. Suddenly, the reflection smiled eerily, and a creepy laugh echoed in the room, pulling her into a nightmare. At that moment, the reflection started moving faster, no longer synchronized with her actions. It seemed to have a life of its own, pulling out of the mirror. Jessica felt suffocated, and in panic. She realized that the reflection wasn't just a mere image, it was a being threatening her. The reflection stepped out of the mirror, its body twisted and distorted, with long limbs and a deformed face. Despite the chilling sensation, Jessica couldn't look away from the reflection in the mirror. The stillness of the room made it feel like time had stopped, leaving only the image of the shadow in the glass. The monster steps out of the mirror. The monster slowly stepped out of the mirror, no longer just a shadow but a real, tangible creature. Its body was misshapen, twisting like tentacles, with gray, decayed skin and a face covered in scars. Its black eyes stared directly at Jessica, filling her with pure terror. The eerie laugh echoed through the empty space, freezing Jessica in place, as though her body couldn't move. The monster's long, sharp hands reached out and gripped her, cutting off her ability to breathe. Jessica struggled desperately, but couldn't break free from the cold grip of the monster. The sensation of pain and cold pierced through her skin. In that moment, she thought of her grandmother, the one who always protected her. And with all her remaining strength, she fought to escape the monster's hold. She hurriedly ran out of the room, seeking refuge with her grandmother, where she hoped she would find safety. She rushed through the long hallway, her legs shaking but refusing to stop. With every step, she felt closer to the place of safety she had been desperately searching for. She ran into the living room, where her grandmother always sat in the evenings. When she saw her grandmother, her frantic fear lessened, as if she were the only one who could protect her from the terrifying things threatening her. Grandma is no longer grandma. Jessica rushed into her grandmother's embrace, feeling the warmth and protection that her grandmother always provided. She calmed down in that moment, as the fear began to dissipate with her grandmother's comforting touch. Tired and frightened, Jessica finally felt safe in her grandmother's arms. She took a deep breath, tears streaming down her face, but in that moment, she believed everything would be okay. Being held by her grandmother made her feel like a child again, when nothing could frighten her. However, as she felt her grandmother's arms around her, a strange sensation began to spread through her. The cold from her grandmother's body was no longer warm as it used to be. Jessica looked up, her eyes searching for comfort in her grandmother's gaze, but the eyes she found were no longer the familiar, loving ones. Instead, they were hollow, filled with pain and fear. Jessica was stunned, a sense of unease growing inside her. She looked around, and when the faint light from the oil lamp cast its glow on a corner of the room, she discovered a horrifying scene. Her grandmother lay motionless, her body torn apart, blood flowing and staining the floor. Her grandmother's gray hair was disheveled, and her eyes were wide open, but no longer holding the kind, loving gaze Jessica knew. The scene before her was so unreal that Jessica couldn't believe her eyes. At that moment, the monster from the mirror, no longer just a shadow, revealed itself in the real world. It appeared in front of her, its body twisted and contorted like tentacles, with gray skin and a face full of scars. Its black eyes stared at Jessica, and its mouth opened to reveal a sinister smile, as if it had claimed the entire house. The monster moved closer, and Jessica felt its icy coldness. It embraced her, its long, cold arms tightening around her body. Each time it squeezed tighter, Jessica felt as though her body was being crushed. The monster's sharp claws began to tear into her flesh. Each slash, each cut of its claws sent waves of excruciating pain through her, but she could do nothing but endure the torment. Despite her struggles, she couldn't escape as the numbness and pain spread throughout her body. The story of Jessica and the haunted house has come to an end, but the terrifying images still linger in our minds. Will she be able to overcome the darkness that surrounds her? And will the terrifying spirits ever let her rest? Or will this house forever hold on to the nightmares that cannot be buried? The secrets have yet to be revealed, and the fear has not faded. If you were captivated by the suspense, mystery, and chilling stories, don't miss the next parts. Hit like to show your support and subscribe now to never miss a moment of this thrilling and terrifying journey.